Hello there. Today we are investigating Port Swigger Academy. Our first lab will be dealing with SQL injection. We're going to work on the first lab today, and it's the SQL injection vulnerability in where clause, allowing retrieval of hidden data. This lab will contain an SQL injection vulnerability in the product category filter. When the user selects a category, the application carries out an SQL query like the following. Select star from products where category equals gifts and released equals 1. To solve the lab, perform an SQL injection attack that causes the application to display one or more unreleased products. Now, before we start the lab, I want to make sure that we take some notes, and there's a couple of things we need to remember, and 2, make sure we always have our goal in mind. So if you look here, I've already typed this up. We have things to remember. 1, the vulnerability is in the product category filter, so we don't have to go find it. We know where it is. 2, the application carries out an SQL-like statement, which is the select star from products where category equals gifts and released 1. And then remember what our goal is: to perform an SQL attack that causes the application to display one or more unreleased products. So let's go ahead. I've already taken the liberty of having the lab started up, and we'll go here. Now, this is a simple shop web page. Your items might be different. I've noticed going through this that the items change occasionally, but that's okay. Our attack will stay the same. So right here we have refine your search. And if we click all, these are all the categories that are, well, since we know the SQL statement, all the categories that are released, all the products that are released. And if you noticed here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So 3 rows of 4, meaning there are 12 products that are released. So our goal is to at least get 13 products to show up. So we go here and let's click on refining our search, because right now we don't see the category filter. You click on this and you look up here in your address bar. You have your filter, question mark, category equals food, plus %26 plus drink. Now, if you're unfamiliar with it, the %26 is just the URL encoding for the space. So it might be for the ampersand. Ooh, I got to look that up. But it's a URL encoding for a special character. Well, I'm sure in future labs we'll talk more about it. But if you click gifts, you see category equals gifts, lifestyle, category equals lifestyle, and of course category equals pets. All right, so our first thing is to we know that we have where categories equals quote gifts quote and released equals 1. So remember, we want to get rid of this and released equals 1. So we can always just quote it and then do our comment and see what this gets us. Okay, so we are still not solved, and it's reflected back to us, and we still have this. So it's still not pulling the unreleased. So now we need a little bit of logic, because again, this statement is selecting all rows from the table products where this column, the entry in this column category equals gifts, and the entry in released equals 1. So now we need to, because the unreleased ones might not have a category listed. It might be the category might be unreleased, and when it is released, it might be updated into the specific category. So now we want to make sure we pull as many rows as possible. So we want to have our logic statement in here. So we'll want to do or, because if it was and, it would have to be true for both cases. The category would have to be, in this case right here, pets, and, well, like I'm going to put 1 equals 1. So again, that goes into our case that if the category entry is unreleased, then that wouldn't be true because we're looking for pets. So that's why we need an or, because the logic statement is if category equals pets, if that comes up false, then our 1 equals 1 will always come up true. And if you're unfamiliar with logic tables, or only needs 1 true to display. So we'll hit enter. All right, and there we go. Congratulations, we have solved this lab. Thank you for watching.